In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, and peace be upon Muhammad and his progeny and all prophets came before him, especially Jesus, Moses, Noah, and Abraham. Ladies and gentlemen, respected scholars, sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Since its existence, and just like any other widespread language, the Arabic language has its differences among its speakers, in single word meanings and formings, and set of words, sentence meaning and forming. Single word meaning, the study of lexicography. What does a word mean in the outer reality? They had their differences. And when I say differences, I don't mean homonyms, like the word ayn, which means eye or well of water. I mean they have differences in a single word, in a single context. This happens because of the language evolution in different parts of geography. In different geography, sorry. Like the word al-afiyah, which means good health in the eastern part of the Arabian world and death in the western part of the Arabian world. So if you tell someone in the eastern part of the Arabian world, يعطيك العافية, you are telling him, may God give you good health. While if you tell it to someone in the western part, you don't want to say it, you are telling him, may God give you death. Another cause of that is the with time, the metaphoric meaning becomes so dominant to the word that the original meaning gets lost. Another cause also the use of rhetoric language, like antiphrasis, using a word and intending the opposite of its meaning, like telling someone who did something stupid that he is smart, or telling someone who did really good in their job, you are crushing it. In single word forming also, they had differences. So the tribe of Tamim will merge two adjacent letters in a single word. So the word yahlul becomes yahulla, tamnun becomes tamunna, tamsaskum becomes tamassakum, something that even the Quranic text is read with. Even at the phonetic level, the pronunciation of a single letter, they had differences. So the letter qaf in the word qala, which means he said, is pronounced qala in Yemen, gal in the eastern part of the Arabian world, and al in the northern part of the Arabian world. Qala, gal, al. Even vowels. The vowel is pronounced in Egypt. Even the Quranic text is read with وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى in Hafs way of reading, and it's read وَالضُّحِي وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجِي in al-Kisa'i way of reading. So you say وَالضُّحَى وَالضُّحِي. In sentences, meanings and forming. Sentences forming, grammar, syntax, and sentences meaning, syntax, they had differences. For example, the tribe of Tamim will have no effect of the preposition ما. وَمَا لِمَا عِنْدَ تَمِيمٍ عَمَلُوا لِأَنَّهَا حَرْفٌ لَدَيْهِمْ مُهْمَلٌ. While the people of Al-Hijaz will apply its grammatical effect on the sentence. This has been forever. There has been debates between Al-Kufa grammarian and Al-Basra grammarian. Languages evolve, devolve, and undergo continuous change. Trying to fighting it will not work. Something that we have to cope and live with. What you think today of as a good Arabic maybe didn't exist in the days that you consider Arabic was pure and intact. The role of Arabic language academies is not to fight this change, rather to observe it, record it, understand it, and investigate its causes. It's time to change our way of understanding Arabic and studying Arabic from only using the old books to more modern linguistic methods, linking changes to their causes, sounds to their meanings, and speaker circumstances to the way they change the language. This is regarding everyday spoken Arabic, regarding transferring the knowledge from leading nations' languages. Differences are no more appreciated nor tolerable. Differences demolish the objective of scientific language, which is communicating science. There is a bird in the Galapagos that Darwin encountered in his beagle trip called Darwin finches. The translated terminology to Arabic of that bird, single bird, are 15 terms. Something that wastes the time of Arabian researchers and disrupt their efforts, looking for a very specific thing using different terms. If a single Arabian language academy translates a term to Arabic, we should unite our efforts to use that term, not debate whether another term suits the intended meaning more. We are already lagging in the translation efforts. The books translated to Arabic every year are far less than the fifth of the books translated to a very small nation's language like Greece. Even in the international online encyclopedia, Wikipedia, we are far way behind comparing to our number of Arabic speakers. In the International Day of Arabic Language, our hope of the Arabic language academies is to maximize their effort in transferring knowledge, scientific knowledge, from leading nations' languages to Arabic, stop the debates, and leave what everyday language used in the Arabic world to the Arabic public, focus on translating scientific terminologies, and coordinate their efforts. Get down from their higher lingual ground and get practical. Translating an organization using unusable words will not help the language, rather the practical language will do. God bless you, and bless the language of poetry, Arabic language. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.